Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you the presence of mind trick that I mentioned in my Arcane PvE mage spec video. Because, surprisingly enough, not everyone knows about this trick. So, this is the talent spec that you picked up if you followed my specking video for PvE Arcane Mage to the letter. And, Presence of Mind is this ability, which makes your next 10-second or less cast an instant cast. And this is the other ability that we'll be talking about, which is Arcane Potency, which increases the crit chance of your next two spells by 15% when you gain Clear Casting or Presence of Mind. Now, what I'm going to show you is a trick that you want to use right before a boss fight. Because usually when you get to a boss, everybody takes a bio break, or you have to sit down and rebuff, eat a feast, get your mana back, so you'll have about 1 or 2 minutes before the fight actually starts. And conveniently enough, if you picked up Arcane Flows, the cooldown of Presence of Mind is, what do you know, 1.5 minutes. So, the trick is, pardon me, right before a fight, you want to watch my buff bar up here. Watch it. I'm going to cast Presence of Mind. Presence of Mind, yes, Arcane Potency did come up just as the talent suggests, so I have the instant cast buff and the 2 stacks of 15% increased crit chance. Awesome. That's exactly what we expected, right? So now 2 spells are going to be critting 15% more chance, or have a 15% increased chance to crit. Getting over a cold, sorry. Not only that, but our first spell is going to be instant cast. Wait a minute, what's the point of having your first spell as an instant cast, when if you do it right, the first 3/4 of the cast time is prior to combat starting anyway, because as the tank's running in, you already start casting. So, what's the point of having an instant cast as the first one? That's not... I'd rather save that for when I have all my buffs going, and that way I can get an extra AB out that I wouldn't have been able to, you know? I don't like having my first spell as an instant cast. Well, that's the same for me. I don't like having my first spell as an instant cast either, because that 2 seconds beforehand gives the tank time to build threat if he's smart enough to taunt before he actually reaches the boss, or throw his shield if he's a pally, or his axe if he's a warrior, or fairy fire if he's a druid. You get the point. Icy touch if he's a DK. So, I don't like having it as an instant cast, because if the tank isn't as reliable, or you just want to be a nice little mage, you give your tank time to make threat when you actually have a cast bar. Because if everything was instant cast for a caster, you'd make ridiculous amounts of threat, and no tank would be able to hold you. So, point being, we don't want to start a fight with an instant cast spell, because an instant cast spell is to increase our DPS later on. What we want to do is we just want the bonus crit chance at the beginning. Because if we have that bonus crit chance, that means that through our Master of Elements buff that we picked up in the Fire Tree, we will gain base mana back from our spell that we happen to cast if it crits. And it probably will, because 15 on top of the 3 from Piercing Ice on top of your base crit is a high amount of crit, I would hope. So, that will help your mana longevity, which will help your mastery, which is mana adept, where the more mana you have, the more damage you do. So that's obviously awesome. So you just want that extra crit. If you have those 2 extra crits the mage next to you didn't have, you'll just look that much better. You'll get that raid spot that the other mage won't. Or if you're in a casual guild, you know, you'll just look that much better. Regardless of whether you're in a casual or a hardcore guild, you've got other people depending on you. Listen to my rant that I'm putting up today on appropriate rating and understanding your responsibilities to hear more about that. There will be an annotation in this video. So anyway, back to the trick. We have these 2 buffs. This one came about because of Presence of Mind. Well, here's the trick. Watch. Remove Presence of Mind. Starts its cooldown again. 1.5 minutes, it'll be ready to go. And that leaves us with still Arcane Potency. Just because you lose the Presence of Mind doesn't mean that you lose the Arcane Potency. So, what that does is it allows us to do our normal rotation, let the tank generate threat normally as expected, but increase the chance of us getting crits for our first two spells, so we A, increase our DPS in the short run, B, increase our DPS in the long run, C, increase our mana longevity, which is very important. So, not only that, but D, in a minute and a half, you'll have your presence of mind to get that instant cast and 2 more crits. That's 4 crits with 1 activation of presence of mind, technically, because you're really only activating it once in combat, to use in combat. So, essentially, 1 effective activation of presence of mind gets you 4 increased crit chances, versus the mage next to you who just waits to use presence of mind when he feels he needs to, such as to beat an enrage timer. Then all you get is presence of mind and the 2 crits. Whereas if you use this trick, you get 2 crits, presence of mind, and 2 more crits in a minute and a half later. And usually you'll have about a minute and a half before you actually pull. At least most groups I'm in, if you're at a raid boss, you do have a minute and a half before you pull. In 5-mans, no, you usually don't have that much time unless someone died, in which case, feel free. This isn't really as helpful against trash, because trash doesn't really live that long, so you don't really need to worry about doing every little thing you can. Again, listen to my rant about knowing your abilities, properly rating, knowing your responsibilities, and you'll understand what I mean by knowing every little thing you have to do to be there. This is just another one of those little things. I talk about it in that video as well as to how it contributes to the metaphor of saving your pennies does actually get you $1 one day. So, basically, the trick is, use presence of mind to remove it off your buff bar, and then in 1.5 minutes you'll have it ready again, which is not that long compared to a lot of other cooldowns. But basically, it gives you 2... It used to be 1 more guaranteed crit. It used to be 100% in Watlook and prior. Pardon me, but they changed it in late Watlook/Kata. It's now 2 charges of 15% increase. However, that's 2 spells with 15% more crit chance that you didn't have before to help kill the boss faster. So, I mean, yeah, it's not that much, but hey, it's the little things that are going to set you apart from the guy standing next to you. So, point being, do this little trick. It'll say to everyone around you who notices, hey, I know a little bit more about my character. I took the time to understand this bonus little trick to help me push out more DPS. It shows you're devoted to helping your group, and it helps you up your DPS. So, not a super amazing trick, but not a lot of people know about it, so one more time, summarizing the trick: you use Presence of Mind to get Arcane Potency, remove Presence of Mind, still have Arcane Potency, do your rotation as normal, Presence of Mind will be up fairly quickly, and you can do it again. Basically, it gives you a leg up on the people who aren't doing this. So yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Sethaldor on the server Blade's Edge in the guild Sacrilege on the character Arctic Shatter. And again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, thumbs up, favorite, tell your friends about me. I just hit 90 subscribers yesterday. I was so happy. I'm like, yes, 90 subscribers, 10 more to go. So yeah, please tell your friends about me. And I really enjoy making these videos for you guys. So can't wait to put another one out for you. And see you next time.